Hey guys, Rocket Sledge here, back again to talk about rare and exclusive player titles in Rocket League. Now, I want you to know that this is a sequel to my very popular titles video from last year. So if you haven't watched that yet, I would recommend clicking the right hand corner of the screen and starting there because it does really give a little history of titles in Rocket League, as well as contain some things that might be spoiled in this video. So the goal here is to look at some exclusive, rare, and often unknown player titles in Rocket League. So yes, I know RLCS championship titles for each season or DreamHack are rare, but I don't consider them unknown. We know that they're going to be given out. By the end of this video, I will have covered every current exclusive title in the game as of August 2020. And I've confirmed this with Psyonix themselves. If you think I missed one, it's either one of those esports related titles I previously mentioned, or it's one I talked about in the first video. We're going to begin with some honorable mentions. Now, this is something I actually skipped over in my first video, but I think I should at least briefly talk about it because I know a few people with this title and they always get the same questions in game. The green Moderator title is given to people that moderate the Rocket League subreddit, Discord, or Steam forums. Well, limited, I don't know if I'd call these titles rare, as the estimates are around 30 to 40 people have them. But there's some confusion that lies with what these people can actually do. So no, they can't ban you. And they don't really have any special reporting power in game either. Their only responsibility is the social media platform they volunteer for, which means when I met this moderator in game, he couldn't really do anything about me repeatedly demoing him. But when I posted the clip to Reddit, he technically could have deleted it. Fortunately, I know this guy pretty well, and he even jokingly tagged my post as mod abuse. By the way, demoderator is not a real title, that's just something I edited in for the clip. The next thing we're going to talk about is a callback to one of the titles I covered in my first video. Remember, I said there would be spoilers. So after two players met in Rocket League and got married, Psyonix ended up giving them each a title, Rockets Engaged. Well, since my first video was released, that title has been awarded to more couples that met through Rocket League. First of all, we have the streamer Nito and Kevy. Now you might remember them as they told their story when they were contestants on my Rocket League Family Feud game show. They met in game, eventually moved in together, and got engaged. Psyonix was actually able to go back and confirm the exact date they randomly queued up in a match together. Yeah, you can't fake this if you want a chance at that Rockets Engaged title. Our second couple isn't as well known. Chris and Pineapple were in the same friend group, and actually bonded over the car design aspect of the game as Pineapple would watch Chris play. Later, after they were engaged and Chris went to boot camp, playing the game actually made Pineapple sad because she would always be thinking of him. After Pineapple contacted Psyonix with their story, she was able to surprise Chris when he came back, as they too were awarded these special titles. And finally, we have one couple that I would have missed, save for one picture I found on Reddit that tipped me off to look for them. Fruit Loop and Rando met in a competitive match, which Fruit Loop wanted me to point out she won. After the match, Rando actually found her stream and their relationship started just chatting on Twitch. Eventually, he moved from Tennessee to Washington to be with her, and they got engaged. A tweet about the engagement caught Psyonix's attention, and they too got the Rockets Engaged titles. So with 8 known members, it's true that the Rockets Engaged club isn't as exclusive as it used to be, but still a pretty special and rare player title. Alright, we have one more thing I want to cover before we get into our new list of exclusive titles Psyonix has added over the last year. Now often when titles get discussed on Reddit or Twitter, I see people come up with this statement that's apparently supposed to be a quote from Psyonix, saying they no longer give out special titles. Well, this is mostly incorrect. What they're confusing is a statement in regards to a player that got a special title for collecting a massive amount of one cosmetic. This is the actual quote by Devin on Reddit. They basically indicated that no one else should try and do a similar thing because they would not be giving out a title for that specific achievement. Since this statement, Psyonix has continued on occasion to give out unique one-of-a-kind titles, including the ones I covered in my previous video and the 4 we will look at today. The first 3 are kind of packaged together. Now, as I stated in the intro, I'm not really interested in covering the RLCS season titles because yes, we already know they're awarded every year to the 3 main roster players, the sub, and as a notable recent addition, the team coach. But recently, Psyonix created 3 special RLCS related titles for 3 special players. Violent Panda is a Dutch player that won his first RLCS championship in Season 4, as Galeforce swept Method in 4 straight games. In RLCS Season 5, Galeforce continued its dominance, but changed its name as Team Dignitas acquired the roster May 22, 2018, shortly before the finals. Under their new name, they took out NRG to capture back-to-back RLCS championships. In March 2020, Psyonix recognized this achievement by awarding Violent Panda the 2-time World Champion player title. Next we move on to another member of the same Gale Force Dignitas roster, the French player Kdob. Now I think you can probably guess where we're going from here. After winning both Season 4 and Season 5, the Season 6 Dignitas roster came out of the EU Finals in first place, and ready for the three-peat. But unfortunately, they lost to Cloud9 at LAN and placed second. Before Season 7, it was time for a change. Kdob left Dignitas and signed to Vitality, which ended up finishing first in the European final that season, and went on to capture the World Championship, beating G2 4-1 in June 2019. This made Kdob a 3-time world champion, and earned him his own exclusive title, shown here in French. It's also impressive to note that Kdob has been in every grand final since Season 3. Our third player had a similar grand finals streak extending from Season 3 to Season 8. TurboPulse won his first championship coming in as a sub for Northern Gaming when their top player Maestro was unable to attend LAN in Season 3. In June 2017, Turbo and his team came through the losers bracket to beat Mocket Esports in 2 best-of-7s and capture the title. He then moved on to join Violet Panda and Kdob to win Season 4 and Season 5 as Gale Force and then Dignitas, giving him 3 championships in a row. After finishing second in Season 6 and failing to qualify for LAN in Season 7, TurboPulse left Dignitas and moved to North America, joining NRG. Season 8 saw him go up against Vitality and his former teammate Kdob, as both were looking for their 4th championship. NRG ended up winning it all in thrilling fashion with a Game 7 OT, making Turbo the first 4-time champion and earning him his own exclusive title. Later, TurboPulse made sure to remind his former teammate of his win after they both received their titles on the same day. As of right now, these are the only players with these specific titles. Could that change? Of course, there's several players that are just 1 win away from being 2-time champions. And if TurboPulse wins again, well, someone has already looked into the game data and found that 5-time champion is a title that's already waiting, ready to be given out when needed. Our final exclusive title is actually a fairly new one, and it's another love story, but with a little different ending. Sometimes things don't work out, and for that, Psyonix came up with a new title for people that meet through Rocket League and end up breaking up. It's Failure to Launch. Alright, seriously though, I want to present to you Azzy and Marcy. They have a long but sweet story that I will try and summarize as best I can, but for the full account, make sure you go to the link in the description of this video, which will take you to their Reddit post. Azzy and Marcy met in a private match hosted on the Middle Aged Noobs Discord server in October 2018. From that point, there was a long period of time that seemed to involve Marcy trying to get noticed and Azzy being oblivious to her attempts. But eventually they did grow closer, until almost exactly 1 year later in October 2019, they officially became boyfriend and girlfriend. But it was a long-distance relationship, with Azzy in BC, Canada, and Marcy in Southern California. In December, they finally got to meet as Azzy traveled to the US for a vacation. The joy was short-lived as 2 days into the visit, Marcy ended up in the ER with pancreatitis. She was there for 10 days, and Azzy stayed by her side the whole time to support her. That was all it took to solidify this relationship. By February, Marcy had moved to Canada, and they were married in July 2020. After the Reddit post, Psyonix took notice. This time, there was new titles given out: Rocket Husband and Rocket Wife. I mean, taking wife and putting rocket in front of it might be considered a low-effort title, but I don't know, to me, it seems pretty cool. As of right now, Azzy and Marcy are the only ones with this title. A source at Psyonix told me they would perhaps be converting Rocket's Engaged into Rocket Husband and Rocket Wife as people got married, but so far I actually haven't heard of anyone getting their titles switched yet. This brings to an end my second look into some rare and exclusive player titles in Rocket League. I hope you noticed that I'm a creator that puts a lot of time and research into my content, so if you enjoyed this, I want you to know that there's more of the same if you subscribe and head over to my channel page. My name is Sledge. Thanks for watching.